Today, Donald Trump is in Nevada and out in California, where he's supposed to be holding a press conference later this morning as the final sprint to Election Day now ramps up, George.
Also, Mary, the former president, been traveling the last few days with this woman, Laura Loomer, social media influencer.
I do love this. Look, I said it. As soon as I saw Laura Loomer on as soon as I saw this demon on the motherfucking plane, I was like, how is the media not covering this? Like, she is such a target-rich environment. It makes no sense for Donald Trump to be close to her. She is an insane person. She is an insane person, which is hilarious because she has no base. She's an insane person with no constituency. Didn't she call that one Senator Gate Lindsey Graham? Yes. There is no reason for Laura Loomer to ever be anywhere near any campaign whatsoever, unless there's a different reason for why she's there. Here is Laura Loomer saying, I just ate dog food. It's human grade, which means you and your dog can share a tasty, nutrient-dense treat together. Order yours today. Roger Stone said it's gross. That's how bad it is. Please stop showing her. My kids are in the room and they're sobbing, says the DUI champion. Friend of the show, Ken Benzinger, wrote about her for the Times. The former activist's decision to elevate Laura Loomer, a far-right activist known for racist and homophobic posts online, has stunned even some Trump allies. Yeah, it makes no sense. It's one of those things where it's like, who is this for? What is the political calculation to having someone like Laura Loomer by your side? Because now you have to inevitably defend her, which is weird because you already have this issue with JD Vance. And she is somehow objectively worse than JD Vance. Like, she literally is both uglier than JD Vance, like hard to look at. Okay, JD Vance also looks kind of weird and creepy and gross, but like, she has no benefit. Like, there's no added value to the campaign to bring Laura Loomer around. There's got to be something. Trump is already not doing great. He was smooth cruising when he was going up against Biden, and then obviously the race changed, and it was already a difficult one for him to win from this point on. But then he just like keeps adding, it seems, new game plus difficulty for no reason. He's just like, nope, I'm going to make this as difficult as possible for me. I don't care. I will win again, but this time even harder.
Influencer, very controversial for racist comments about Kamala Harris, suggesting in the past that 9/11 was an inside job, and that's drawing fire even from...
Why is that the only thing that you guys talk about? That's like a defensible position, dude. She has done way worse shit. She is banned from virtually every application, like not just social media. Like when she was banned from Twitter, she literally chained herself to the door of Twitter headquarters, okay? She started an ISIS club in college because she thought liberals would join it. I don't know if that's real or not, but I'm going to go on with it anyway because it's funny. But the Twitter thing is real. She got banned from every application. Uber, Lyft, every single one because of her fucking relentless Islamophobia. Look at her background. Laura Elizabeth Loomer, born May 21st, 1993, is an American far-right political activist, internet personality, conspiracy theorist. She was the Republican nominee to represent Florida's 21st congressional district in 2020 House of Representatives primary. She has described herself as pro-white nationalism and a proud Islamophobe. Loomer has worked as an activist for several organizations, including Project Veritas, the Geller Report, which is Pamela Geller, who is a far-right terrorist herself. She worked for Rebel News and InfoWars. Loomer gained notoriety as a result of being banned from numerous social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, payment processors, vehicles for hire, and food delivery mobile apps. She doesn't even have the weather app on her phone, okay? She turns on her phone, it's a brick. She got banned from the weather app. How do you even do that? For various reasons, including violating policies on hate speech and posting misinformation, Loomer has also been banned and removed from events and had her press credentials revoked for harassment and causing disturbances. In April 2023, it was reported that Donald Trump wanted to hire Loomer for a campaign role. However, the idea was said to have been met with heavy resistance from Trump's team, as well as warnings from Marjorie Taylor Greene over hiring a documented liar. Since 2023, Loomer has written and posted false claims about the Israel-Hamas war. Between 2015 and 2017, Loomer used a concealed video camera to record a conversation with Barry University officials discussing the idea of starting a club called Sympathetic Students in support of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. The school apparently asked, only that the club's name be changed to Students in Support of the Middle East. James O'Keefe of Project Veritas, a right-wing organization known for producing secretly recorded and deceptively edited undercover audio and video investigations about media organizations and left-leaning groups, released a video to Encounter alleging that it captured a university official unfazed by the idea of an on-campus organization to support ISIS. Shortly thereafter, the university suspended Loomer for violating the student code of conduct, and a professor shown in the video filed criminal charges against her for recording him without his knowledge. At the time, Loomer was an honor student in her senior year and the president of Barry University's Young Republicans Club. According to a Hillary campaign official, Loomer and two other women posing as Clinton supporters attempted to entrap campaign workers into accepting illegal cash donations. In July 2015, the official said the campaign had complied with the law. These guys are some of the most insane freaks out there, okay? Remember James O'Keefe? That freak who used to run Project Veritas? But obviously people that were donating to Project Veritas were like, what the are you doing, when they found out that he was embezzling funds to fly Project Veritas members to go and watch him do Oklahoma, the Broadway musical? Like, he is such a musical fan, just like Donald Trump, by the way, that he was like, yeah, I'm going to take all this money that you guys gave me. I'm going to make everybody fly out and watch me do Oklahoma. So they fired him. Wait, Donald Trump loves musicals? What do you know about that? Wait, you didn't know that Donald Trump is a musical head? Are you kidding me? Have you guys never heard Donald Trump talk about like Phantom of the Opera? Why do you guys think I always say he's my zesty king? He fucking loves musicals, bro. Are you kidding me? Donald Trump, Phantom of the Opera. The only time when you see a spark in his eye is when he's talking about
this beautiful letter I get from Andrew Lloyd Webber, who was big before Phantom, but nothing like Phantom. And he did Jesus Christ Superstar, which was another great one. He did a lot of great things. But he said, because he lived in the building at Trump Tower, he knew me a little bit. And he said, I'd love to have you as my guest. I'm opening up a musical called The Phantom of the Opera. And I said, oh, so let's go. So I say on the letter, okay, I'll go. And anyway, we went. And it opens with the chandelier and this. You've been there, right?
Yes,
You've seen
yes,
it.
yes.
Do you agree? It's like,
first time I saw it shocks you when the chandelier drops.
No, but
You guys didn't know this? I mean, this is like, sometimes I forget that there's people in here that just like are unfamiliar with like all of my commentary, but this is a classic, dude. Donald Trump is a very, very zesty man, okay? Very zesty man. Also, he's literally like, I think he also tried to produce a Broadway musical and it failed, and it like altered the trajectory of his life dramatically. Donald Trump's one-show career as a Broadway producer, If Paris Is Out had been a smash, we might be living in a different. If Paris Is Out had been a smash, we might be living in a different America. He blew a kiss at Hulk Hogan. Like, what are you talking about? He loves his little boys and girls. He loves a good performance. Okay. Why do you think he always talks about how hot his generals used to be or how hot his military men were? He loves a man in uniform, okay?
This is far-right activist Laura Loomer and white nationalist Nick Fuentes cheering to
the hostile takeover of the Republican Party.
Absolutely.
And they're not wrong. Both met personally with Donald Trump. I first met Loomer in 2017 at an event for manosphere influencer Mike Cernovich. At the time, Loomer was an activist who'd celebrated the deaths of Muslim migrants. But she was being harassed by white nationalist trolls because she's a Jewish woman. Since then, she's taken a strange trajectory, with years somewhat in obscurity because she'd been banned from so many social media sites like Twitter. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, she came back. She does stunts like ambush interviews.
Frank, why aren't you supporting President Trump? I'm a successful investigative journalist.
Loomer recently told CNN she's not anti-Muslim. Now, some might dispute that she's entered the mainstream, but she's reached the former president's elite inner circle. Flying to the presidential debate on Trump's plane, and to New York as he observed the anniversary of 9/11. A notable appearance since Loomer has pushed the false conspiracy theory that 9/11 was an inside job. She's been seen with Trump a lot.
We're here at Bedminster. I'm with the greatest president ever.
Genuine question, is giving her this much airtime good or bad? No, it's over. She's already in his inner circle. Hiding the truth about her fucking insanity is worse. Look, guys, I have a policy of not highlighting Nazis on this broadcast, even if they're doing a lot of funny things that, you know, people love to clown on them, until it gets to a certain point where they reach a prominent mainstream platform, and at which point they have to be dealt with. Laura Loomer is the perfect example of this, where like until she reaches Trump's inner circle, she's irrelevant. Who gives a f? Don't talk about it ever. Do not give her even a moment of coverage. The moment that she reaches Donald Trump's inner circle, then it's a problem. Okay, then you have to cover what the fuck is going on there. Is she a Zionist or a Nazi? First of all, Zionists are Nazis. What are we talking about? That's number one. And number two, she is both a Zionist and a Nazi at the same time. She's reaching far more than the inner circle. Connor, you are one of my favorite, consistent, funniest members of the community. What's interesting is not that she is both a Zionist and a Nazi, because, you know, that's a distinction without a difference in many instances. What's interesting is that she is a Nazi and she's Jewish at the same time.
I spoke to Loomer before the debate. She told me she's attacked as a childless woman who devotes all her time to a man who will never pay attention to her, meaning Trump. But Trump does pay attention to her and reads her reports.
Laura, how are you? You look so beautiful, as always. You don't want to be Loomered. If you're Loomered, you're in deep trouble. Trump!
Oh!
Loomer told me one of her donors let it slip that DeSantis was running for president in 2021. So on the first stop on the DeSantis book tour, she stood in front with a Trump sign and a t-shirt. Despite her new closeness to the former president, some pro-Trump Republicans are very against her.
Her rhetoric and her tone is...
Now it makes sense. Trump has become increasingly more paranoid over the years. As a direct consequence of that, he has made his circle even tighter. This is the exact same reason why he chose J.D. Vance, who is a bloodless, soulless, monstrous brown noser. And this is now, I assume, the reason why he has Laura Loomer in his corner, because that is a ride or die.
There is a growing feud that is playing out in public today, and it's really exposing tensions between Donald Trump's allies. Far-right activist Laura Loomer was seen with Trump yesterday at events commemorating 9/11, despite the fact that she previously spread conspiracy theories about those very terrorist attacks.
Yeah, she posted on social media saying that it was an inside job. She was also seen getting off his plane. You see the video here. This is in Philadelphia, just ahead of the debate. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene is not holding back going after Loomer, and now other Republicans are joining her. What are they saying?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, Marjorie Taylor Greene, someone herself who has been very outspoken, very controversial in some of her rhetoric, but she says what Laura Loomer has been saying has been going too far. And she contends it does not represent the MAGA movement, does not represent former President Donald Trump. This in the aftermath of her post, racist post about Kamala Harris's Indian heritage. That was too much for Marjorie Taylor Greene, and then afterwards Loomer went to attack her on social media. So I asked her about this feud between those two, and this is what MTG said to me just moments ago.
I have concerns about her rhetoric and her hateful tone. To me, many of the comments that she makes.
Oh my God, I just realized maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene hates her because she's Jewish. Before I said Marjorie Taylor Greene hates her because like Trump can only have one ugly, like freakish looking demonic woman in his corner. And like first it was Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and then now it's, you know, it was supposed to be Marjorie Taylor Greene, but like kind of Laura Loomer just like came in and, you know, cast her aside. And I thought maybe that was the reason, but now I'm thinking it could be because don't forget Alina Hubba. Alina Hubba is a fucking smoke show. What do you mean? Alina Hubba? Are you crazy? Donald Trump does not give a shit about what women do beyond the fact that they just look good behind him and like other dudes think that that's sick. 2 or 3 different angles here, okay? 1, it could be because Marjorie Taylor Greene is anti-Semitic and thinks that Jews have space lasers, which, by the way, she used to think that before Israel said they're working on an actual space laser. That has nothing to do with what Marjorie Taylor Greene was saying. That's totally besides the point. But she used to say Jews have space lasers, and maybe she's mad that, you know, she wants it in the hands of America, and she probably thinks that Laura Loomer knows where the space laser is. That could be one reason. The other reason could be that Marjorie Taylor Greene is upset because she was supposed to be slotted into the the hideous demonic monster category that Trump has to have around him at all times. Last but not least, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'm sorry to say this, I know people are going to get mad. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a sexual dynamo. This is a factually accurate assessment of the situation. You might not like it, but this is what peak sexual performance looks like. We know this because she literally cheated on her husband at the time with her like weird tantric sex gym owner, CrossFit gym owner, who Laura Loomer says looked like Zangief. Marjorie Taylor Greene since then has allegedly slept with Kevin McCarthy and also the guy at like One America News or whatever, or Newsmax. That's the boyfriend. That's the open boyfriend that she has now. I think a lot of you look at a woman that looks like a Titan from Attack on Titan and you think like she's not capable of being a sexual dynamo. But the unfortunate reality is that she absolutely can be a sexual dynamo and is a sexual dynamo. Here it is. Hey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, remember when you destroyed your family so you could have sex with a Zangief cosplayer? Tell me again how you and the Arby's in your pants are representatives of the GOP. She said her pussy is like Arby's. The girls are fighting. Like she's doing the roast beef slur thing about Marjorie Taylor Greene, which is wild because you're literally a woman. Why would you ever say that about another woman, dumbass? They will say that about you too. You couldn't even run your own family. Don't tell me how to run my free speech. This is who Marjorie Taylor Greene fucked. Embattled QAnon Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene openly cheated on her husband of 25 years with a polyamorous tantric sex guru and then moved on to another affair with the manager at her gym. Is it absolutely necessary to talk about this? Yes. Not only is it absolutely appropriate to talk about it, you have to talk about it, and you literally have to memorize these facts. I will be quizzing you on this later.
Many other Republicans that are strong supporters of President Trump, I think they're a huge problem. And that doesn't represent MAGA as a whole.
She still traveled with the former president. Would you encourage Trump not to keep close contact with her?
You know, Laura Loomer has lost 2 Republican congressional campaigns, one in a general and one in a primary.
Damn!
And
damn!
This is such an important election. I don't think that she has the experience or the right mentality to advise a very important presidential election.
Dude, what is this? Welcome back, Nikki Haley. Ever since he shot a fucking Kevin McCarthy, she's been like so, like obviously she still does the QAnon shit, but every now and then, dude, like she just has like a moment of clarity and you're like, you're Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, what do you mean? This is not the Republican Party. Like, you literally are the Jewish space lasers lady. Like, you were at an event for January 6 prisoners, like last week, advocating for their release. Like, you called them political hostages and shit. Like, I don't understand. It's like AOC coming out and being like, the Democratic Party has gotten too woke, folks. We got to stop. We got to cut it with this in progressive nonsense. Like, you are the movement, you are the momentum, you are the person. You're like Laura Loomer who got elected. That's it. Like, there's not really anything different between you and her, honestly.
And her tone does not match the base, does not
like she's saying what Laura Loomer is saying does not match the tone of the base. Like, it kind of does. That's why you do it all the time. It's just that like she's a little gross with it. Like, she goes above and beyond. She absolutely she actually ends up passing the boundaries of permissibility, which you do all the time too. You want to hit so bad with a shovel? Like, what the fuck do you mean you want to hit so bad? I want to hit myself in the head with a shovel instead of thinking about that. You see that thing from the corner of your eye in the middle of the night, okay? You are not going, ooh, I'm horny. That's not what's happening. You're not like, ooh, wonderful. That's like, oh my God. This is my sleep paralysis demon. When did you go from politics to gossiping about who sleeps with who? Politics is about sometimes gossip surrounding who's sleeping with who, especially because currently we're talking about Laura Loomer, a real will they, won't they situation between her and Donald Trump. Someone in the chat said, what the is that chatter talking about? A politician literally sleeping with someone led to the second ever presidential impeachment. It's like, no, that chatter was there being like, sweetie, I don't like that you're talking about tea between Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. Okay. Ugh, this is just gossip. Yeah. Also, you're coming into the broadcast of a dude who spent like 3.5 hours describing how the Duluth Dyson Larry Sinclair sucked off Barack Obama in a limousine after Barack Obama gave him cocaine and then pulled out his own crack to do before getting his shit sucked sideways by the Duluth Dyson Larry Sinclair.
And that Marjorie Taylor Greene is drawing a line at what acceptable rhetoric is, and it appears to be Jewish space lasers, but not this.
Damn! Okay, CNN, damn!
Normalizing and spreading these really detrimental conspiracy theories. Even the conspiracy theory we heard on the debate stage on Tuesday night from Donald Trump that Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio are abducting and eating people's pets. Reporting suggests that he is picking up this kind of rhetoric from Laura Loomer, who was posting these conspiracy theories before he took the stage.
Marjorie Taylor Greene screaming from the rooftops about Laura Loomer being in Trump's orbit is giving Alex Jones telling Kanye West not to openly say he admires Adolf Hitler. It has that same desperation, and it's the exact same type of situation. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You're giving the game away. You're being like far too open about your actual allegiances and associating yourself and others with like a truly toxic individual. Like, we agree with the ideas, we just can't say certain things. Why are you saying those things? It's the exact same situation. Don't say the quiet part out loud. You're giving the game away.
There's a bomb threat in Springfield, Ohio. Reportedly, the caller was frustrated over Haitian immigration, and it led to schools closing. It led to city buildings closing. And even after that happened, Laura Loomer then went back on X and suggested that Haitian immigrants are not only eating pets, but eating people, just pushing wildly baseless, false, harmful claims.
When left unchecked, by the way, this kind of narrative will only increase, as we have seen Donald Trump go from like Mexicans are rapists, drug dealers, and some are very fine people, I assume, to they're eating pets, to they're eating humans too now. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't actually try to push back against this kind of wild, insane anti-immigrant sentiment, this Hitlerian nonsense.